From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Naira Ahmed. Israel's military chief says the army is prepared to step up pressure on Hezbollah in the coming days after it launched over 100 rockets into northern Israel, sending thousands of people scrambling into shelters. Hezbollah's attack came in response to an Israeli airstrike in Beirut that killed at least 45 people and a sophisticated attack that caused thousands of personal devices to explode just days earlier. Meanwhile, local hospital officials say 2 Israeli strikes in central Gaza have killed at least 7 people. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau gave a speech to the Summit of the Future in New York today, saying leaders have a collective responsibility to confront serious global challenges. He spoke ahead of the 78th meeting of the United Nations General Assembly.
The Prime Minister is expected to reaffirm Canada's commitment to the UN's 2030 Agenda, a 15-year global framework that envisions a secure world free of poverty and hunger. He'll also co-host a discussion with Haiti's acting Prime Minister. The increasing conflict in the Middle East and Russia's war in Ukraine will likely cast a shadow over the Assembly and its formidable future plans. Kelly Malone, The Canadian Press, New York.
Successful repairs of a major feeder main in Calgary have prompted ongoing water restrictions in the city to be lifted. Now, Mayor Jyoti Gandik says the Bears Paw South feeder main is open and back in service for the Calgary region.
I have great news for everyone in Calgary, Airdrie, Chestermere, Strathmore, and Tsuut'ina Nation. After around-the-clock repair by construction crews, together with the city's water team, we are lifting all water restrictions immediately.
The water restrictions were in place for much of the summer, with Calgarians urged to take shorter showers, skip toilet flushes, and hold off on laundry and dishes. British Columbia's election campaign has now entered its second day. John Rustad's BC Conservatives are scheduled to be in Surrey for a campaign kickoff event, which he says will focus on the city's specific needs. NDP leader David Eby has made affordable housing his campaign focus for the day, with stops in North Vancouver, Port Moody, and Langley. British Columbians head to the polls on October 19th. And the head of the Air Canada Pilots Union says she'll step down if members opt not to approve a tentative deal with the airline.
Charlene Hootie chairs the Air Canada contingent of the Airline Pilots Association. The Canadian Press has confirmed Hootie told her fellow employees in a virtual town hall on Friday that she'll have no choice but to resign if they vote down the would-be agreement. The contract was reached last weekend after more than a year of negotiations. It would grant the carrier's 5,400 pilots a wage hike of 42% over 4 years. The agreement has faced scrutiny from some pilots, particularly more recent recruits, who are unimpressed with the ongoing pay gap between newer employees and their more experienced colleagues. Lisa Laporte, The Canadian Press.
This is The Canadian Press. In sports, NHL preseason action continues today with 5 Canadian teams taking to the ice tonight. The Winnipeg Jets visit the Edmonton Oilers, the Ottawa Senators will be in Toronto to take on the Maple Leafs, and the Calgary Flames head to Seattle to face the Kraken. In the MLB, the Toronto Blue Jays were swept in a 3-game series in Florida this afternoon against the Tampa Bay Rays. Toronto lost 4-3 following a 1-0 and 3-2 loss in the previous 2 games. The Blue Jays were officially eliminated from playoff contention and have 7 games remaining on the regular season schedule. And Las Vegas Aces star Asa Wilson was a unanimous choice as the WNBA MVP the league announced today. Wilson averaged 26.9 points and 11.8 rebounds this season. She's only the second player to win the award unanimously, joining Cynthia Cooper, who did it in the league's inaugural season of 1997. Wilson received all 67 first-place votes from a national media panel and has now won the award 3 times. From the Canadian Press, I'm Naira Ahmed.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.